So we're getting to the exciting end of the build for the new Landcare and Sustainable Living Centre. Right now I want to have a talk to Brent about the project itself, how it was initiated, the funding, and how we actually got to where we are now. So Brent, can you kind of take us back to 2012?
Sure can, Jason, thank you. And very exciting to see the finished products almost there. But yeah, it's been a long history. And I know the Landcare community and the wider sustainable community is excited for what we're going to have at the end of this product. But in 2012, yes, a master plan was developed, and back then we didn't really have the full budget to deliver everything, but with a lot of our strategies and our plans, we look at the bigger picture, and so the full site was considered, which had the first stage, which you may recall, and all our Landcare friends will, I'm sure, have been out there, the nursery in the Kohler area. So that was built in 2018 through a first bucket of money. At the end of 2018, our sustainable engagement team managed to get a $200,000 grant through the Stronger Country Community Funds, which is the state government-based funding program. The budget at the time was really only just for the office buildings, but then when we started designing the project and looking at the grant objectives, we realised that, well, it's more than an office space. We wanted to provide a new community facility and a community hub. The execs saw the benefit in it, and we got the additional funding. So then in sort of 2020 we went into detailed design, went out, got an external architect, Thrive Architecture, who then designed the facility we're in now. Then following that, we went to construction tender, had Think engaged at the early 2021, and they started construction sort of just before mid-year in 2021. Obviously they had a lot of challenges through just material delays, staff, COVID, and being down in resources, so they were challenges. And even though we're standing here at the end of 2022, we're almost done.
Almost done, yeah, so close now.
Yeah, it's taken a while, and we really appreciate what your staff have gone through and the community. I know that you and your team and the wider Landcare and sustainable neighbourhood groups will appreciate what's delivered at then. I've actually got a question back to you, Jason. I believe there's been a name change for the facility moving forward, so I'd be interested to find out how that came about, and how will the facility be used? How are you guys going to use this wonderful facility in the future?
Yeah, sure. So the name's interesting. So the original building, the Landcare Resource Office, was of course over at Blackwall's,
remember that one?
Burnt to the ground, so some really riveting imagery of that. Photos taken at the time, a clock, all molted
wow.
An Escher picture. And then the group moved out to the worm farm at Terralba for a period, while the Mandeville buildings were put on this site. So we've been on this site for over 10 years now, where we became a Landcare Resource Centre. But moving forward, the new facility is the Landcare and Sustainable Living Centre. So it takes that broader concept of environmental sustainability. One of the wonderful things is Council's recent adoption of having dual naming to recognise what we call history for a lot of their community facilities going forward. So we also now have an Aboriginal name, a second name, and that's Umalai Baraku. And that means to do for the earth. So of course that beautifully encompasses that concept of what you're doing is around caring for the earth as your home, as your place, as its own valued entity that you need to really look after. So of course, all of our Landcare community that were consulted on that name were really positive and excited by it, because it reflected what they do. Likewise, the Sustainable Neighbourhood Alliance were really positive about that name for exactly the same reason. And that's where we're going to move forward with the centre. So it should become that community hub to bring people together who want to look after the environment, who want to live more sustainably, and who want to mix with other groups that feel the same way. So we've got the new community centre, so it's got the capacity to have 60, 70 people in a theatre style, or 50 to 60 sitting around desks and workshops. We'll try to engage and hold programs education programs or community development programs around that sustainable sphere. Likewise, the centre here is to be like a meeting place or a hub. So there's free Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi access, as a lot of our community facilities have. So people will be encouraged to come here and be able to engage with other council staff, certainly with the Landcare staff and sustainable engagement staff, and our volunteers around those aspects that really interest and excite them. So all of the programs that Landcare originally run will continue from this centre. A lot of the sustainable neighbourhood programs will start to move in here, the programs the Alliance runs or their general meetings that they hold, and we'll also look to try and build and develop engagement and relationship with a lot of other community-based groups that have that same focus.